Hey, y'all, you're listening to the Chicken Fried Women podcast with me, your host, Melissa Radke, the original recipe. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Chicken Fried Women with your podcast host, Melissa Radke. It's me, and I am really excited about today. Okay, so I have had a couple of guests on here. Well, not even many guests because the women in my family keep coming on and y'all keep wanting to hear from them, which I don't understand that. Y'all need to get on something. But I am really excited about today's guest because I have been a fan of hers for a while. So I was perusing Instagram Reels one time, and that's how I came across Ellen Skrmetti. And she had her remote control. I have to think it was in a remote control up against her ear. And she was like, "Hey, Jesus, it's me." And she was talking very Southern. Like I remember what she was talking about happened to be something that I was going through with my own daughter at the exact same time. And I realized this is both like a comedy sketch, but it's also very real at the same time. And I was a fan of hers instantly. I hit follow and I've been following ever since. She has a new book that has come out. It's been out just a teeny little bit before mine called Hey Jesus, It's Me. And guess what? We have the same publishing company. So when my publishing company told me we were going to get some excerpts for people, like we're going to reach out to Ellen Skrmetti, I'm like, who? What? I was so excited. And now today she's here. And I know that she's only here because we have the same publishing company because she's big stuff and she could be anywhere she wants to be. But she's here with us on Chicken Fried Women, and I could not be more excited about it. Would you say hello to Ellen? Hi.
Listen, you need to back up, sister. I was going to come on here long before I knew we had the same publisher. So this is not a publisher.
You promise? This is not a publisher relationship?
This is not, which I do love. I love our publisher. I love them. I love Daisy. I love Daisy so much. I'm a Mississippi State Bulldog. Daisy, for everybody listening, Daisy is the president of Hachette Nashville, and she is a force of the publishing industry, but I am a Mississippi State Bulldog, and she is an Ole Miss Rebel. And you want to talk about, we plan and God laughs that like,
right.
My guardian angel of publishing is an Ole Miss Rebel. But I love her so much. I was going to go watch a game with her last year at Ole Miss and listen to her yell hotty toddy in my ear.
That would be, y'all, you Mississippi people we're serious about it.
We're very crazy. I would have worn maroon underwear.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you, so did you graduate from Mississippi State?
Okay, I did not, only because Mississippi it's a club, not a state. It is so little. And Mississippi State Club, they're like 100 miles from each other. And I'm from North Mississippi. Everybody either went to state or Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents, their parameters we're not paying out of state tuition and we're not paying for a private college. Thank you so much. We will not be paying $30,000 a year.
Okay, sure.
So for a private school. So I found this little school that no one in North Mississippi had ever heard of called University of Southern Mississippi.
Okay.
That was 4.5 hours away.
Huh?
And then come to find out, my husband, he says he wrote the wrong I made because he has 2 degrees from Mississippi State. And he says, I have one for the both of us.
That's true. Very nice. So
yes.
We got invited to a Mississippi State game, and this has been several years ago. We'd never been. We went, and we learned that day how vengeful it is between Mississippi State and the other one, the hotty toddy one, whatever that is. And we were even bought cowbells.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, David Radke just brought it in here. He just went out and got my cowbell.
Oh gosh, just the music of the angels.
In the music of angels. This is the most annoying sound on earth. What this is going to be, let me tell you why I don't want to live next to Ellen in heaven, because this is going to be her doorbell. That is obnoxious.
Honey, the whole neighborhood went nuts. When Mississippi State won the College World Series, I opened my huge sliding door all the way up, and we just rang our cowbells like crazy people. And thankfully the neighborhood, they were like, okay, Mississippi State just won that game. And so they understand. Yes.
David is a SEC football fanatic, but right now we're in SEC baseball. And when Remy Radke was choosing schools, he was just like, I mean, I would hear him pray, God, I don't care where she goes. I want her to go where you want her, but let's just keep it SEC. Let's just please keep it SEC.
My daughter says, and I'm working on turning this into a reel because I feel like this is what every parent goes through. Ask my daughter, who's now a freshman in high school, I said, what are you thinking about college? And she said, I'm going to go wherever God sends me. And I said, well, that's going to need to be a 3-way call. He will need to call me too. Because, I feel like we live in Alabama. We get in-state tuition. University of Alabama is 40 miles away from my house. So if he wants to send you anywhere into the earth other than the University of Alabama, he's going to need to call me too.
How do you feel being such a Mississippi girl at heart, but being in Alabama now?
Oh, well, you know what? We find other Mississippi State people. And you just bond and you just go with it. And the most beautiful thing is that during football season, when Alabama plays at home and Auburn plays at home, honey, that's when you go get your grocery shopping done.
Yeah, for real. Exactly.
It is a ghost town. People do not know the joy of grocery shopping at the Publix.
I bet. I bet.
So yeah, I will go Saturday at 4:00 and go, what is going on here? Oh, they all have home games. And so it's really fun though. Birmingham just kind of becomes a ghost town.
Would you be as okay if she went to Auburn?
Yes, I would be, because it's, I care more about my pocketbook.
Yeah.
And it would be in-state tuition.
Well, we care about our pocketbook too. It's been a big deal. It's been a big ride over here in the Radke house as to where she would end up. Yeah. And Remy Radke signed with, she committed to University of Arkansas.
Okay, that's good.
And we're really excited about it.
You ready for this? You gonna do this?
I don't think that's right, Ellen. Let me tell you something. I lost 60 pounds just to have to now scream "woo pig" for the rest of my life.
Yeah. There was a lady on TikTok or somewhere, and she had her nose taped back doing her woo pigs. And I was like, ma'am, you are too pretty.
We're not going that far. We're not. I mean, I'm not even going to get a shirt that says "woo pig" on it. I'll say Arkansas, but she's really excited. That was a beautiful campus. How many kids do you have?
2.
Now, what's their ages?
Okay. 15 and 11.
Oh.
And I am the last of the Gen Xers with little kids. Like I am.
Well,
yeah, it is.
You do have young ones. I could have sworn I've seen you do some reels though, and it made me think that you were talking about college stuff.
Well, I'm a liar. I am a liar.
It's just the bit. It's the bit. Okay,
it's a bit.
Got it.
It's a bit. I tell people, I'm like, listen, you can trust my stand-up. You can trust my books. I tell the truth about myself. But online, I am a writer, and I am just writing up scenarios. I do not have a daughter named Ann McCordle. I am not trying to buy the Tutwiler dorm at Alabama right now. It's
I really thought your daughter's name was Ann McCordle. Ann McCordle.
Anna McCordle. Is that not the greatest double name?
It's wonderful.
Because we try so hard. Like it'll be like Sarah, Mary, or Ann, and then your maiden name. Yeah. So it'll, so you'll just have like some of the most outlandish double names that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I was just like, what's the craziest thing you could do? And I was like, Ann McCordle.
I love it.
Yes. So I'm so sorry. She lives only in my dreams.
I love it. Well, I relate. Whatever you're dealing with her at the time, I'm also dealing with, and that's how I found you. And I've been a fan ever since.
Thank you.
I wanted to have you on here because Chicken Fried Women, this podcast is all about, it's like the book. It's all about girlfriends. It's stories. It's how we were raised. It's hilarious things that have happened to us by these chicken fried women in our life, whether that's our parents, our mother, our aunts, or our college besties, our college roommates. And I cannot imagine that a woman like you, having written a book like you wrote, and the fact that you even tour and go to these you're on stages everywhere at these comedy clubs, that you aren't chock full. Oh, she went away for a second. Now you're back.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. My battery's running low and I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So you want to talk about planning and God laughing. We were supposed to close on our house is finished. We were supposed to close on our house and we had a buyer. And with 11 days until closing, he decided he had too much going on and he couldn't do it. I know. And so we had to cry and give it to the Lord. And at one point, and it almost was like a good reset. We told our realtor, like, just take our house off the market. And we called our builder and we were like, we can't. And then they're like, we will give you more time to sell your house. And we kind of needed that reset. And so anyway, we're back on the market. And so like, I still can't find anything because I am a crazy mother of 2 kids and I'm 47 and I'm too old to have kids as young as I have. So like all this stuff that I packed away to stage my house, I didn't know that I was going to be without it for so long. So just like little things, like my charging cord is too small.
God, girl.
It's just the crazy stuff, but it's okay. And we're gonna.
That would drive me up a wall. I don't know how you're doing it. I honestly, that kind of stuff right there, those little things of disorganization. No, I can't do that.
I'm a type Z personality that, I could be, my husband laughs because I maybe will have me get on a plane the next day. He goes, you haven't packed, have you?
Oh, girl. Yeah.
But here's the other thing though. I basically have a uniform that I wear on stage.
Huh?
So you just wash that, you just keep that clean, and that's your uniform outfit. Have a backup uniform stage outfit. And then I keep all my makeup. Like I am ready. I can leave the country in 20 seconds.
I love it.
So, and I think you were about to ask me about the chicken fried women who made me. I have a great aunt who once told me at the time, $100 was like 1,000. But when I first got married, she told me to always keep $100 in my underwear drawer in case I needed to leave town for a few days.
Say, you know how far $100 would get you now?
That was like 1997 that she told me to keep $100. So, and I was like, what? And she said, trust me, when you get older, you'll understand that sometimes you need to leave town for a few days.
I was going to say, there's no possible way you would be, you are the type of woman that would have chicken fried women stories. I knew that you would.
Yes.
Before you even get into all of this, I want to ask you, would you stand on a stage in a comedy club? Are you sharing real life stories? I haven't come to see you because you've not been in my area, but I would love to. Are you sharing real life stories?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. From when my brother was in the Bible drill to when my mother made me dress as Ruth for Halloween.
What?
Yes.
Tell me that.
Yes. Okay. So I do this in my act. It's amazing. Oh, I think it's amazing. But so long before there was ever a trunk or treat. Okay.
Trunk or treat. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Long before we had our first trunk or treat, Halloween had the audacity to fall on a Wednesday, which is the second most sacred day of the Protestant calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And everybody knew what to do on a Sunday. Nobody knew what to do when it fell on a Wednesday. If it fell on a Sunday, you just trick or treated on Saturday. Wednesday, all of a sudden in the 80s, they had to come face to face that little babies like to trick or treat and ask for candy.
Yeah, that's right.
So they decided to have a fall festival for Jesus.
Of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to make it more fun, they had everybody dressed like a Bible character.
Oh, okay. And here's the thing. So I can't believe this because my mom never made me dress as a Bible character. She just made me be Annie for 3 years in a row. Even when I had acne and boobs, I was still to be Annie. But I never had to dress as Ruth. That's horrible.
I was Ruth. And then now to this day, especially when Facebook started coming out with like, which woman of the Bible are you? I would always answer. So I would get Ruth and send it to my mother. And then the other thing I would do is, the key is I wouldn't call my mom every Halloween to remind her. but I would call her every other Halloween. So that way she would be surprised. And then the first time she saw me do that in my act, she sent me a text and she said, I am so glad that I was such a crazy mother so I could give you so much material. And I said, Mother, and sometimes I'll say stuff and people will be like, what? And I'm like, hey, listen, what doesn't kill you makes you funny. It's okay. I have survived.
Oh, people asked me the other day, so it was just Mother's Day yesterday, and people asked me, you didn't, like some of my women in my family, you didn't say anything about your mom on Mother's Day. I said, I wrote a book for her. She's the stars of chapters 1 through the end. That's enough. That's enough. The woman has provided me with content forever.
And that's the thing my family and I have realized, like, that's a trade-off. Like, I'm on social media and it's helped me have a really great career, but I can't really put first days of schools and milestones and things like that about my kids because I don't want to embarrass them. And then also, like, my daughter's teacher, he now, if she starts to talk too much, he just goes, hey, Jesus.
My gosh, I love it.
So I started joking with my husband and I said, it's been a really great Mother's Day, but I don't have a single tribute. So how am I supposed to know that you love me?
Yeah, that's right.
If there's no tribute.
I said, David, you're an admin on my account. Get on there and do something. But he was busy wrapping my Mother's Day gift, which was a flashlight. That will be used in material later. He got me a flashlight so that I could take the dog out to pee in the middle of the night and feel safe. And that, my friends, is a true story. What would you do?
That is marriage. That is marriage.
What would you do with that information?
I mean, honestly, I would be hiding a body right now because I would have hit him over the head with it.
But he knows it's true. He got me that, and he got me a little portable fan that I can take with me for my hot flashes.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Isn't that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mine, he did good. Like, he went to Williams-Sonoma and just got me some gadgets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He just got me some stuff that I probably wouldn't get for myself, which I love.
Yeah, well, something that I wouldn't get for myself is one of those lasers that takes off sunspots. So I kind of wish he would have got me a treatment or 3 for that. But a battery-powered flashlight was just as great.
That's what you get.
Hey, did you know that the Chicken Fried Women podcast is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women? I have a question for you. Have you ordered it yet? Go to Amazon.com or wherever you buy books and order one for you and your bestie and your mom and your college roommate. You get what I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. I have so many questions for you, but one of them is when you, well, first of all, anytime you want to interject, whatever question I ask you, if you want to interject a story with it, be my guest.
Sure.
Because I love hearing all of your stories. But one of the things that David Radke has wanted me to do forever and ever is try my hand at stand-up. He wants me to try it so bad. Doing stand-up in a comedy club makes me want to vomit. I would think I would be so nervous. I would just lose all control of my bowels. I need to know how you do this. How did you start doing this? Where'd you get the courage, the nerve? How did you learn how to write bits and jokes and all the things?
So I'll tell you that I had to realize that I had that exact same fear. And that's the devil trying to keep you from doing it. That is the devil knowing that if he can keep women like you and me out of a spotlight and a hot mic, if he can keep us away, because he knows we're going to give God glory. Like, even when I walk out on stage and I'm like, just do a regular set. Like, don't talk about the Lord. I can't help it. Like, I'm going to, because you can't not, because it's just so much of my day and it's my life and it's my story, is that once I finally gave him my career, like, that's when everything started to move. So I can't not talk about the Lord. So just know that you're in great company. If you're scared, everybody has been scared. The greats get nervous before they go on stage. I will tell you or anybody, getting a set together is just like a skill set. If you decided you wanted to be a painter and you went to Hobby Lobby and you got canvases and paints and stuff, and then you started trying to paint what you saw in your head, if it didn't turn out right, that doesn't mean that you couldn't be a painter. It just means that you need some lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So I took stand-up comedy writing classes from the Second City in Chicago.
Really?
I really did. And because during COVID, they had to keep money coming in. They had only offered in person. So, but during COVID, they started to offer online classes. So I would take online stand-up comedy classes. I would do open mics over Zoom.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Can you imagine?
No, I cannot.
But Second City led the Zoom open mics,
Mhm.
and they had somebody there who would go, okay, Ellen, this is really good. What about here? What if we expand here? We can expand here and go into this area. We can expand here. So they helped me build out like my first 5 minutes on stage.
Really?
Yeah. And then also my teachers were the ones who were like, who said, a comedic point of view is a very hard thing to find. I mean, you have yours, it's your family, I have mine, it's my family. But in the end, I didn't know if I was, wait, am I supposed to be Joan Rivers? Am I supposed to be Heather McMahon? Like, who am I supposed to be? Second City really gave me the confidence that I was enough. Like, just get up there and tell your funny stories. They're hysterical.
Huh?
And they gave me different writing exercises to help me figure out how to structure my stories.
Right.
So I would say take a class. Also, Judy Gold has a book called The Comedy Bible with a workbook. If
Okay.
you can't take the class.
Do you think they still offer them online?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a great, and then the way I got the idea to start doing my reels was because before a class, my teacher said, hey, listen, guys, y'all are going to be so happy that you've started to take these classes because we're getting influencers who blew up during COVID, and now that clubs are open, they're getting booked into clubs, but they don't have an act. So when your time comes, you're going to have an act. And I was like, wait a minute. Well, my ladies are God-fearing women who aren't just hanging out at clubs. And so, but if I could find them online and just kind of use it like a little, I could get them out. I could get them to the club. And so I actually did reverse of what, most influencers do, which is I started taking comedy writing classes. Then I turned my stand-up into sketches. So then I could get them back into a club.
How has your tour gone?
It's been so fun. It's been great. I get to meet these amazing women, and then some of them bring their husbands, and then their husbands like maybe didn't know what they were coming to because like they tricked them.
Uh-huh. And I saw several that would take their mom because it was her Mother's Day gift or their sister or whatever.
They'll bring their mothers or they'll bring their daughters. We have like young daughters who bring their mothers. I always love to celebrate. There's always a group of queen bees.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah. I'm sure.
And say, okay, how many of you have no idea who I am, but your girlfriend told you had to come tonight? And they're all like, right there, it's me. And I'm like, we love our queen bees. Thank you. I have a career because y'all are bossy and make your friends do this.
Yep. I love it. Do you have a management company that's put you on those stages, like booked them for you?
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too, Melissa, is that it's such a beautiful thing how the Lord will order your steps. I mean, I had this idea how the career was going to go. It was going to go just like everybody else's, where you got 5 minutes and 10 minutes. But yes, I called. So Bruce Ayers owns the Stardome in Birmingham, Alabama, which is my hometown. And I said, Bruce, I know this is crazy, but I've got this many followers and I had just turned in my book. And I said, I would just love to get on stage. And he said, well, I'll let you rent my small room for $500. And so I gave him a $250 deposit. And he said, you'll just pay the rest out of the ticket sales. And if you don't sell enough for $250, then you'll owe me. Honey, we sold 4 shows out that weekend. Yes.
Me chills.
We sold out 4 shows. Did not know what I was doing. He sent me a text and goes, hey, can you do 90 minutes? Because there was no opener.
Huh?
I had never done it before. I mean, we were just making stuff up. Just trying, but it went well. It went good. Everybody had a good time. But then Bruce called the people at Zany's in Nashville. They did the booking for the Huntsville Club and said, okay, you need to book her. And then Zany's booked me. And then he called the people in Atlanta, and Atlanta booked me. Well, the guy that booked me in Atlanta, Jamie, he's now my opener and just a really great friend. His business partner that owns the Punchline with him, he's my manager, and he has managed some of the biggest names in comedy. And so it's just the Lord just kind of takes care of you. And my manager knew about me because he was having dinner with Bruce. And he goes, "What? Who's this Ellen Skrmetti selling like 100 and something tickets on a Wednesday?" He goes,
Yeah.
"She needs a manager. She's good and she needs a manager." So he called and he was like, "I've never done an influencer, but do you want to do, would you want me to be your manager?" And so he has just helped clear paths and just, he knows all these people in the business, and that he'll say like, "Oh, I just got off the phone with so and so," and I'm going, "That's like one of the biggest managers in the business. Like that
Yeah.
is like, and
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I was there. I was in LA. I saw Leanne Morgan, just gave her a big old hug." Because every comedian has come through his club before.
Sure.
Like, so he just,
Did you always see yourself doing this?
I did, except again, it goes back that the devil can steal your dream for as
Yeah.
long as you let it.
Oh, that's true.
I got stage fright when I was 18 and I was in Mississippi, and I got stage fright before I did my um talent competition.
Okay.
And I prayed, "If you'll get me off this stage, Lord, I'll never get on again."
Ellen.
I let myself live in that. I lived in it and just, I made this deal and I'll never get on. It wasn't until I was in my late 30s, it was downloaded into my spirit. That's kind of like what I call it when the Lord talks to you. It gets kind of just like downloaded in your spirit.
Yeah.
That the Lord said, "I never took that bet. Like
Oh.
that was never real." And then I had to come to terms with that. And then I had two really little children, and Tim and I were moving all over the place. And so I just knew that I had to give it a shot, that was never something that the Lord said, "This can't happen." And I'm so thankful now for the way that it did happen, because when I started taking classes, my kids were so little. Now that they're 15 and 11, they've seen how long I've been practicing writing and like just walk around with a pen, acting like I was doing a set, so they're proud of me. And so they're understanding when I have to be gone. But
Yeah.
I just know that for all those years, that was just the devil keeping me from doing it, because I do give the Lord every ounce of the glory that any of this has ever happened, because I just would not be here if it was just me alone trying to make this happen.
And you openly do that on stage?
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely. Like, I will always tell about how I prayed every day and every night when I started my Instagram page. "Dear Lord, do something so big it could only be you."
That's right.
Like, because you hear about people who pray limiting prayers, and I told my husband that. I said, "We had every prayer answered."
Mhm.
I said, "But we just pray like one thing at a time. Like, if we needed a new job, we pray for a new job." And I said, "So instead of me just praying for 1,000 followers or 5,000 followers, I'm just going to pray, 'Dear Lord, let her rip tater chip.'" You know,
Yeah.
let's just, instead of me praying for what to have happen that I think should happen,
Mhm.
what if I just let the Lord, what if I just say, "Dear Lord, whatever the journey, whatever the path, I'm here. Like, whatever it is, do it. Like, let's just do this." So
That's amazing. And you'll read this in the book. That is what chicken fried women are. They
yes,
are battered on the outside. They are tender on the inside. They have taken it a couple of times to the chin. They've made the bets. If you get me off this stage, I won't ever get up on it again. But what it has done is made them better for it, not bitter for it. And that's why I guess that's why I've always been drawn to you. I feel that kindred spirit there of these women who we do not look like the world may want us to look. We are not even the age that the world may say this is not the correct that, right?
right.
We find our value, our worth, our humor, our creativity from the Lord. And yet I guess that's why I love you so much, because that is a bond there. Like, I get that with you.
Yeah, like, we're just not going to give up. I told my husband, "Honey, I posted for 9 solid months and grew 300 followers.
Mhm.
Like, that is not good." And, but I told my husband, I said, "Listen, if something happens to me and I pass away and nobody in the world knows that I'm funny, will you please put "She died trying" on my headstone?
That's right. That's right.
And I feel like, and I know that you know this too, I did this because I wanted to do this and I wanted to see this work. I don't know that I would have done all of this if I didn't have children, that I wanted my children to see me not give up.
And I think what is ironic about that is I think there is a really healthy amount of a huge amount of women in the world right now who are saying they can't do it because they have children. I can't go, I can't tour, I can't try because right now I've got to focus on my children. But I'm going to tell you, as someone who started late in the game with children like you did, I'm a couple of years older than you, and my children are a couple of years older than your children. So I've got
Yes.
16 and 18. Mine, I can tell you right now, ladies who are listening to this podcast, your children are the better for it. They are better when they see you try. They are better when they see you fail. They are better when they see you get back up and try again. They are better when they see you succeed, not succeed, but just putting yourself out there. I love that, Ellen.
Absolutely. And here's the thing too. Okay. What if you and I had started when it was the right time for our kids? Okay. What if Noah didn't build the ark until he saw rain?
A little too late.
It was bright and sunny when he started building the ark. You got to be ready. You don't know what's coming.
That's right.
So if it's not go ahead and practice whatever it is. I was writing jokes and learning joke structure before I ever started my Instagram page and long before I ever started to tour.
Yeah.
And at the age when I started, my kids were too young for mommy to be out of the house.
Mm.
But had I not started then, nothing would be happening now.
Yeah.
And they are older and they get it. And we've all talked about it. And my husband also, like, it would have never worked too, because my husband's job, he's in sales. He was always on the road. So I couldn't be on the road. Well, now he's been able to work his way up through his company that we can now coordinate. And honestly, his boss that lives in Texas, he has seen every show I've done in Dallas and Fort Worth.
Really?
Yes, because my husband's been with his company for years. Their head of sales is a great friend, and I love his wife. And so wherever I've been, like Mark has been with his wife Krista, and we get to hang out and talk. And then Tim's like, I can't believe like you're getting to like hang out with Mark, and I'm not even there. So
Yeah.
and just so things may not seem, and this is for every lady out there that you have a dream, it may not seem right now like it could work, but you don't know what the Lord's working on behind the scenes.
Right.
So just trust him and go ahead and build an ark, even if the sun is shining.
That's exactly right, girl. Oh my God, I love you. Okay, close us down with what is one of the stories that you tell on the stage and it kills every single time. It's one of the ones that the women are like, you got to tell that one.
Okay.
And you don't have to tell us your ring dinger. You can save that for when we come and see you. But what is the story that when you're sitting around with your girlfriends, they're like, Ellen, tell that.
Okay. I will tell you this one thing that always everybody dies over is I talk about the differences between taking and dropping off our kids now and taking and dropping off our kids when I was a kid. And I talk about how my mother just slow rolled her full-size van to the Crazy Skates. And I rolled out. And as I was rolling out of the van, she hollered out, "Catch a ride, Dallas is on tonight." And that woman just went home and watched Dallas. Like she didn't call anybody and say, "Hey, can you pick up my daughter?" And she didn't even care who it was. And then I go on to say, because she knew that if for some reason I couldn't find a ride home, the phone was going to ring. And the lady's going to say, "You have a collect call from Mom, I can't find a ride. You got to come get me."
I know. And the thing is, you're rolling out of that van because they didn't put us in no seatbelts. They just kicked us out and said, find a ride.
Find a ride. Buy. I hope that $5 is enough to get you in and the snack bar. Like,
Absolutely love it. But nowadays it's like what?
It's like, okay, here's your money. Do you have a ride? Let me just call her. I'm going to text her. Hey, can you get my baby? And I'm going to take them. You take them. Okay, great. Well, text me whenever you get there. Okay, you're there. Okay, they're in. Everybody's in. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, I'm heading to go pick them
Hey,
up.
if
Right.
you're going to stay at that party, don't let her have such and such. She's got an allergy. And if you're not going to, it's okay. I've tagged something to her so they'll know not to give her marshmallows. I mean, what has happened to us?
They're just, and then on the other end too, now I've got my daughter. She tracks me. Like she'll be at school and she'll be like, why are you at Starbucks?
Telling you.
No.
Okay, your kids are not old. Do you have them on Life 360 yet?
She has me on Life 360.
And you don't even have her on it yet?
She is. She's at school where I dropped her off. I don't have her on Life 360. I think she picked it up and I can look it up, but I don't care. Like, I know where she is. She doesn't have a driver's license.
Well, my kids are on Life 360 because we watch every blessed thing they do. And I will walk out of Target and I'll get a text that says, I'll be 2 seconds out of that sliding glass door. And she'll say, can you go back in and get me such and such and such and such? Because they know exactly where we are. I don't know what is going on.
Here's my favorite part. Okay. There is a breakfast place in Nashville and Birmingham called Biscuit Love.
Oh, yeah. I was just there last week.
Okay. Biscuit Love in Birmingham is next to a Pilates studio.
Good. Okay.
And my daughter was following me on Life 360 and she sent me a text and she said, what are you doing at Pilates? I was at Biscuit Love and I just texted back, just trying something new.
I absolutely love it.
Yes, even though I was knee deep in biscuits and
knee deep in some biscuits and gravy.
Knee deep in biscuits. I just texted back, I'm trying something new.
Yes, you did. Hey, I have enjoyed this to no end. You are chicken fried through and through, girlfriend. And I want to tell you, please don't watch the Radkes. Please do not. It is awful television. It is awful television. Okay?
Listen, girl. Somebody said television show. You took it.
15 minutes. That was great. And it was entertaining, but it was the only good thing that ever happened during COVID is that we didn't get a second season due to COVID because LA shut down. And I'm the only person that was like, yay, COVID. But it's funny when we look back on it, it's memory making, that's for sure. But there were much better things for you to be watching than the Radkes. So I cannot thank you enough for being on here, Ellen. I just have loved you for a long time and I'm supportive of you all the way.
Well, thank you so much. I love you right back. And listen to your husband. Go get those books. It's writing structure. It's joke structure and just do it. Okay.
Will you be in the Texas area anytime soon?
Yeah. At some point I've got to come. I love Houston and we just couldn't make Houston work. So I'm hoping we can do like a Houston and San Antonio late this summer.
Be there with bells on. I'll be there with bells on.
I tell you what, if you get 5 minutes together, you can come and get on stage with me. If you'll get yourself a little 5 minutes, I'll put you up there.
Promise you I will. I will work my butt off to do that.
Yes, absolutely. Come on out and do it. We'll just put you on stage.
All right, girl. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
You guys, thank you so much for watching Chicken Fried Women. I absolutely love women like this. I hope what happened today is that you discovered a new love in Ellen Skrmetti, but you also listened to the heart of a woman who says, I want to try this. Why can't I get my chance? Why can't I do this? And they didn't put everything on hold for their children. And the children are still fine. The children still turned out fine. So I love you. Have a great day. Till next time. Thanks so much for being here today, where we get to talk about our friendships and our kinships and the stories that made us this way. Till next time.